When my husband died, my world collapsed, or so I thought. I had been Evelyn Carter for nearly 40 years, a loyal wife, a devoted partner. Daniel was my everything, the man I built a life with. His sudden heart attack left me hollow. At the funeral, my mother-in-law, Agnes Carter, arrived draped in black silk, her crocodile tears falling as though she had lost the love of her life instead of her son. Her grip on my hand was icy, her voice syrupy sweet. "Oh, Evelyn, you poor thing," she cooed. "Don't you worry. I'll take care of you." I wanted to believe her. Agnes had always been difficult, critical of everything I did, but I thought grief might have softened her. I was wrong. 2 days after the burial, she appeared at my doorstep with a hard smile and a stack of glossy pamphlets. "These are wonderful retirement homes," she said, pushing them into my hands. "Daniel wouldn't want you rattling around in this big house all by yourself. You're too fragile." Fragile. The word stung. I was still reeling from losing my husband, and now she was treating me like some useless burden. "Agnes," I said carefully, "Daniel wanted me here. This is our home." Her eyes narrowed, her mask slipping for just a moment. "No, Evelyn. This was my son's home. And according to the will, it all belongs to me now. You've been living here out of my kindness. But kindness has limits." I blinked at her, stunned. "That's impossible. Daniel showed me the will years ago. He would never leave me with nothing." She smirked. "People can change their minds, dear. Maybe he realized you weren't capable of managing such wealth. You were always just the wife. Just the wife." 40 years erased in an instant. Her final words hit harder than Daniel's death itself. "Find somewhere else to die, Evelyn. You're useless now." Within hours, she had me packing 2 suitcases. Kevin, her driver, dumped them in the back of her shiny Mercedes and drove me to a rundown motel on the edge of town. He pressed $200 into my hand like a tip. "For your expenses," she said coldly. That night, I sat on the sagging motel bed, staring at the peeling wallpaper. My life, my marriage, my home, had been stolen by the woman who had despised me from the day I said I do. But beneath the despair, a tiny ember of doubt burned. Daniel was meticulous, almost obsessive with details. He had shown me his will, and I remembered clearly. The house, the savings, everything was left to me. Could Agnes have lied? The next morning, I took a bus downtown to visit Martin Hale, Daniel's longtime attorney. A kind man in his late 60s, he looked shocked when I walked in. "Evelyn, I've been trying to reach you. Agnes said you were traveling." "Traveling?" I repeated bitterly. "She threw me out of my own house. She says the will gave everything to her." Martin's brow furrowed. "That's nonsense. Daniel's will was read last week. Agnes said you were too distraught to attend." My stomach dropped. A reading? That vulture had deliberately kept me away. Martin pulled a thick file from his drawer and flipped it open. "Here, let me show you." He read aloud. "I, Daniel Carter, do hereby leave to my beloved wife, Evelyn Carter, our marital residence and 70% of all financial assets, totaling approximately $24 million. I gasped. "The house. $24 million. Martin nodded. "And to his mother, Agnes Carter, he leaves $10 million, conditional upon her treating you with dignity and respect after his passing." Conditional. My breath caught. Daniel had known. He had seen the venom beneath Agnes's polished facade. "Martin," I whispered. She threw me out. She gave me $200 and told me to die somewhere else. His face darkened. "Then she has violated the condition. That means her entire share, every cent, reverts to you." My mind reeled. I hadn't just been robbed. I had been sitting on a fortune that rightfully belonged to me all along. Martin leaned forward, his voice firm. "Evelyn, what Agnes did amounts to elder abuse and fraud. She showed you forged papers. That's a felony." I sat in stunned silence as the truth settled over me. The house. The money. All of it was mine. Agnes had destroyed herself with her own greed. Martin placed a comforting hand on mine. "It's time we teach Agnes a lesson she'll never forget." That afternoon, Martin sprang into action. He called the police, the banks, and even a private investigator. By the end of the day, every account Agnes thought she controlled was frozen. At 3:12 p.m. my phone rang. "Evelyn." Agnes's voice was sharp, panicked. "There's some sort of mistake at the bank. They're saying my accounts are locked." "What have you done?" I smiled, a strange calm washing over me. I'm at Martin Hale's office, Agnes. You remember him? Daniel's lawyer? He just read me the real will. Silence. Then a low hiss. You're lying. No, I said evenly. You are. Daniel left me everything. Your share depended on treating me with respect. Instead, you forged documents, threw me out of my home, and told me to die. So congratulations, Agnes. You've inherited nothing. You ungrateful witch, she spat. After everything. Detective Lawson is sitting here with us, I interrupted. If you'd like to continue, she'll be happy to explain the penalties for fraud and elder abuse. The line went dead. That evening, Agnes was arrested at her country club, a martini in hand, moments after bragging to her friends about her inheritance. Her humiliation was splashed across every local paper. But the story didn't end there. 2 days later, a woman appeared at my doorstep. Tall, elegant, with diamonds at her throat, Agnes's sister, Eleanor. Evelyn, she began smoothly, this has gotten out of hand. Agnes made mistakes, but prison is excessive. Our family is willing to compensate you generously if you drop the charges. Compensate? I echoed. She smiled. $2 million. More than fair for your inconvenience. I laughed bitterly. Your sister tried to steal $34 million in my home. Do you really think I'd sell justice for $2? Her mask cracked. Be careful, Evelyn. You don't understand the forces you're meddling with. But I understood more than she knew. Weeks later, Martin revealed something astonishing. Daniel's fortune wasn't dirty money as Agnes had hinted. For 12 years, my husband had secretly worked with the FBI infiltrating financial crime networks. The money he left me was clean, payment for years of dangerous undercover work. When agents confirmed this, a weight I hadn't known I carried lifted. Daniel had been protecting me all along, even from beyond the grave. Agnes and her allies faced trial. The jury found them guilty of fraud, forgery, and elder abuse. Agnes was sentenced to 4 years in prison. Eleanor escaped charges, but her reputation was ruined. As for me, I returned to the home Daniel and I had built. I renovated the kitchen, filled the house with warmth again. For the first time in decades, it was truly mine. 6 months later, I launched the Evelyn Carter Foundation for Elder Justice, using part of my inheritance to fight for others who had been betrayed by the people meant to love them. Agnes writes from prison sometimes, her letters full of pleas and apologies. I don't respond. Some wounds run too deep. They called me useless. They told me to find somewhere else to die. But I am alive. I am stronger than ever. And my worth, my true worth, was never theirs to decide.